Hey, it's Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and it is Wednesday. It's April, I forget what it is, 13th, I believe, April 13th. I don't even know what day it is. It's been one of those kind of days. But anyway, this is going to be a fast and furious video. It's very late. I just did the video, and for some reason there was no audio. I don't know what happened, but so I'm having to do this a second time. So unfortunately, and I had some good stuff in there, so I don't know why it didn't come out. I don't know what happened, if I didn't push the button or what. But I had a video and it had absolutely zero sound to it. So anyway, this is a look at the day. We did kind of rally today finally, but you can see that's an inside bar. I'm not convinced that means we're going higher yet. Maybe we'll push on out of here, and if we do, then maybe we'll work towards another leg up. But as of now, this just looks like sideways action to me, an up day short term, but sideways longer term. So we'll just have to see. There's just not enough here to really know yet. This just looks like congestion to me. But it is positive that we closed up. If we could get follow through, that's going to tell the tale. So we'll see what happens there. But let's switch over to the other chart. Okay, here's our 2000 tick chart, and you can see we started out in a range. We've been doing that almost daily now. We start out in a range, and then we end up trending higher or lower, one of the two. It's just about like that every day. And no difference today. You can see we broke out and failed a couple of times before we found support and finally went higher, and then we sold off a little bit in the afternoon. So there's two-legged move up here, and then we continued higher after that on the breakout. So, and that's just kind of what's been going on lately. The key is you don't know which way it's going to go until it starts trending and the price action shows you. So this morning when we were right in here and I posted the chart, I mean, we could have gone either way. It was hard to know which way we were going to go. The hope was we're going up. Again, as day traders, we don't care which way the market goes. We just want it to move. But as a long-term investor that has retirement accounts and have stocks and other investments that rely on the long-term picture, I'd prefer the market go up because I've gotten hammered on some of my investments as of late with the stock market. So, but I've learned just stay with it. The market goes up and down; it never goes straight up. And just when you think you're ready to throw in the towel, it'll find a bottom, and the next thing you know, it's racing higher, and you're going to all-time new highs. I've seen it over and over. One day it may not do that, but that's the way I'm going to look at it and stick with my stuff. Let's zoom in here, go through the trades. Like I said, I'm going to move through these quickly. I'm sorry, but I'm running short of time and it's late, and I just can't go through this whole thing again. It's my fault. I made a mistake somewhere, but we'll find out. I mean, we'll get past it. We'll do a new video. But we're running down here. You get a first entry, second entry. There's a shorter term channel in there, but I think this yellow one is correct as well. It does hold again right here, and then it bounces, get a two-legged correction. But this is a failed second entry long, and it's also a second entry short because you move up and you get a first entry, and then you turn back up here, and then you went back down again. So when it breaks lower, right below that green bar, that's a second entry short. It's a little more advanced. I went back and forth whether to make this one green or not, but I decided it's just such a bearish bar. I just think you got to go short there. But anyway, runs down. It makes a lower low here, but by that time, that's just a first entry, and you've got to go short. You really had to go short at the low of the day here as well. Actually, you didn't because your low is just a little bit lower there. That's another thing about this trade. It is into the overnight support, but the main support was down here from yesterday, and so that's what I was looking at it to test. But really, the failed second entry long along with the second entry short is what I liked about that trade. It's still real close to being green though, so if you didn't like it and you thought it was a little aggressive, I wouldn't disagree with you. We got the break here, two legs up, and then the correction, and then we got a first entry, second entry that fails, and it's also a first entry, second entry long. The problem is it's a little congested. It's below the EMA. You probably want to wait on a higher low here, which comes here. So I like that trade. And then you get a failure here. This one's real close. You could almost argue for that to be blue, but we're right into that resistance right across there. If you got enough room, which the entry would have been one tick above this bar, even though this is your signal bar. We run on up, we go sideways, nothing there. We break out, we come back. You get a first entry, and then you get a second entry. Now, as a second entry, that's not good enough to take, but notice there's a new low, so it's a first entry, second entry failure right at the key entry point. So when it breaks higher there, I liked it. Then you make a higher low right here. So pretty good signal bar, so you may go long. The problem there is you're getting a little close to the highs. You just make sure you got room to get out before you take that trade. Then we're working across here. We get a break, and unfortunately we just turned down. But notice this, you got a new swing high. It's higher than that one. So first entry, and then that big bearish move tells you, hey, something changed. You'll probably get another leg down. So when it makes a failed second entry long and confirms this trend line with that big bearish bar, I like that setup. And you can see that how fast that moved down. They got the longs trapped there. Anybody that was still in from here is exited, and anybody that got in up here, if they didn't exit here, I'm guessing a lot of new longs came back in right here, and they all had to exit real quickly. You do get another second entry here. This looks more like congestion with one leg up, and signal bar is no good anyway, so I don't like that entry. Another second entry here, but now you've had a break in a new low. I think it's too risky to go short right there. I think it would have worked if you took it. I didn't measure it, but I don't. I think that's a little too risky. Yeah, there's over 2 points there, so you would have got a scalp on that. But then it just starts going sideways. You do get, at first this was your channel, it ends up expanding here, but this would have been a breakout. It makes a new high, and generally you want to wait on a lower high or an equal high, and so I marked it green. Same thing here. You're off the top again, but it makes a higher high, so and all of these would have worked, but same thing again here. This one, the problem with it is it does make a lower high or equal high, but it's so close to the lows you don't have much room there. So that's the problem with it. You gotta, but if you got room to get out, then you may take the trade. And then we actually fail. We make a failed break lower and then work higher. There's you can't go long into this, and there's no setup on the breakout pullback. But we come up here and you get a first entry, and then it breaks lower right there for just a minute, rockets up. That's a failed second. Actually, it's not a failed second entry short. It's just a second entry long off the key entry point with the trap right there. It's a little congested, but that's just showing you there's a lot of buying still coming in, and so the market can't even really correct very well. It just goes sideways. So it's a little different than just standard congestion. And you get a higher low right here, but it's getting a little close to the highs, so I marked it green, but you may take that one as well. Runs on up. This is technically a second entry, but I wouldn't take it. Notice the high. First entry, and even though it doesn't break lower, it makes an equal high right there, so when it breaks above that, it is a second entry long. It's a little more advanced, but and you finally get a break here and a move to a new high, and you kind of trend down, and you do get a break and a new low here. I don't see anything reason to go short here yet. I don't see anything I like to the short side, and unfortunately there's nothing to the long side until here. And basically you got a double bottom here, so you get a first entry, and there's a little dip lower there, but I still treated this like a failure right here. It's green. It's a lot of inside bars too, but this is probably going to trap people and act like a failure. So you can see there's a good bit of shorting coming in right there. And this thing just rockets higher. You finally get a break of the green channel, this green channel right here. 2 legs up. Then you make this lower high. I like that just to ride it back to the EMA and maybe get lucky and it goes lower. And of course it does. It ends up going lower. Just working sideways, nothing there, no longs or shorts. You do get a little breakout here, then a high or low. So I like this one just because it looks like this is already played out, and now we're working higher. There's a shorter term channel right there that I don't have drawn, so there it is. You run up here and then you get a break. I treated this like a failure. New low, first entry, second entry. If it breaks higher there, again, the shorts come piling in. Everybody's used to that sell-off day, and this was a breakout of the range, so a lot of people are probably betting on the breakout. But when it bounces right there the second time, that's a pretty good sign. It does make a higher low here too, but no setup. You might have looked at this as a failure and a second entry long. I didn't mark it because it really is congested, and we're just not really taking off here. But in the end, it looks like that's really kind of the catalyst to send it higher. But you can see even then it came back again. I'm just not crazy about that one. Second entry long here, but this is your signal bar, and that took us into 230. So I hate that I had to rush through that, and I hate that I had some soapbox type moments on the last one, but which I felt was some important stuff. But I'll bring it up next time. Just remember, Friday's Good Friday, no trading at all on Friday. So tomorrow's going to wrap it up. But maybe I could spend a little more time on the video tomorrow since it's going to be a short week. But I hope you had a good trading day. Hope it's been a good week so far. We'll be back again to do it tomorrow and wrap up our week and take us a long vacation. But I'm done for today. This is Mac with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.